got two things here and that seminar. The key here, if that happens, is to go get the insured. So he can retain you, so I can defend him, and there's no default. He's not going to pay, because our interest is for you to be paid. Do you understand what I mean? That way, though, I answer the complaint for no default. Yes, sir.
How about you had a patient that purchased an insurance policy and didn't declare brother X or brother F, come in the house 2 months later, he purchasing the policy, and the brother get involved in the accident, file a claim, the insurance company send a check refund to the patient saying that was material misrepresentation. How can we handle this?
All right. Here's the if the material misrepresentation is true, we don't have much to do. Okay? If it's not, I don't care if they're true. You gave, you sure you gave, but there's no material misrepresentation. This becomes a little bit of work for you guys also. If you hear they're not paying for a reason like that, you get that insured. Let's sit down and talk to them. Because he's the one who's going to tell me. And now material misrepresentation can only happen in 1 minute. Because material misrepresentation can only happen when I fill out my application. So, my application asks, regularly, list any person over 14 years of age that lived in your household. Doesn't say that has a license or doesn't have a license. Doesn't say, it just says everybody that's over 14 years of age. I fill it out because I'm living alone. Nobody. I sign it, done. Give my deposit check, I leave. They give me a little binder card. I show up to my house and there's my 32-year-old daughter who's leaving her husband. She's got all her suitcases. He said, Dad, I gotta live here for a while. I said, sure, honey, come on in. I did not commit a material misrepresentation. Because when I signed that application, she wasn't there. And I have no obligation with the laws of the state of Florida to call them and update them. None. No obligation. Listen.
How can you prove it? She wasn't there.
How can they prove it? They have to prove it. They have to prove it. If, listen, burdens of evidence. I file a suit, I have to prove that the bills were reasonable, related, and necessary. My burden, I have to make that case. They have a defense of a material misrepresentation. They have to prove it. They have to prove it. Whatever they're defending, their burden to prove. It's not easy. It's not easy. How is it? Can only, the moment I second, can only happen. Think about how do you prove it? The only way is the testimony from the insured. Because you know what? They made the search called post-loss underwriting. After the accident, they did underwriting again. And they checked your household and they found that your daughter was in there. So they said, material was referenced on the date of the accident. Your daughter lived with it, my daughter lived with it. That's not what was referenced. The date that's important for the application. was there the day of the accident, right now. Now, there are certain things, let's say, that they go back to the license bureau and they find out that my daughter has my address on her license for the last 6 years straight on. Tends to prove that she was there on the day of the accident. But maybe not. Maybe not. Because she didn't. She had gotten married and she hadn't changed her address, but she has proof that she was living someplace else with her husband. So all of a sudden, that proof that they have, I've killed her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Their burden, they must prove. Okay?
How about if they want to refund the check? If
it's not true, I don't care about the check. I don't care. It was a gift. You didn't have the right to do that. They must get the right to void the policy. It's called void ab initio. It's a Latin term for it's voided from the moment it was made. There never was a contract. Okay? So they must return all the money because we never had a contract. But if it's not true, they can't do that. So they're not going to check. We'll get it from the insurance. But you've got the right coverage. Yes?
Was informed by an attorney that once the check
You would have dire straits if you're the former right check.
that the check is not, they cannot cover.
No. It's funny because it is in litigation. It is, I say, I thought the same thing for a while. But after thinking this out, I say to myself, if it's not true, the material misrepresentation, they have no right to void the policy. So, by the insured cashing the check, doesn't mean anything. They didn't have the right to do that. So, I would say no. I would fight it. But the fight is we need to find out to be sure that it's real, what they're saying is real. Okay? Because if not, we're going to fight, and then that insurer is going to come up and say, oh yeah, my daughter lives with me. You have to raise your hand?
Well, I was going to say, just another way to explain it so they kind of understand a similar situation, saying that probably most of them have all had happen. Your check for your bills gets sent to another clinic on accident, and that clinic deposits it. You file a PIP suit or give it to us because you never got paid. They said, no. That cash, we mailed that check and it was deposited, and we get the check and it's signed on the back and not by anyone from your office. Too bad, so sad. You got to go back to the other clinic and get the money back from them, but you still got to pay. You still get paid. It's the same thing. If they sent that check back to their patient, sorry.
Can we agree that an insurance company, after an accident, can say, oh, hey, here's your money back. I don't want to cover it. Can we agree that they can do it, right? Why do you think they can do it with a mistaken material misrep? Simply because they gave the insurer back the money? That would be great. Insurance companies voiding policies when there was an accident. And if it's wrong. Now, here's the thing. What's the key? Let's get back to that insurer. And you guys during the claims process are listening to the adjusters, to what they're saying, to this rep. I want to find out who was living in the house, stuff like that. You're getting clues. So they're on top of it. Whoa, come here. On the day you signed, right? Did you have anybody living in your wisdom? Tell me the truth. You want to know? Before I spend $10,000 on treatment, you're not going to pay. See, those are risks that you guys are taking. We have to mitigate a little. Because when this patient comes in, they don't care. And once they finish their treatment, they don't care if you get paid or not. They really don't. So you have to care. You have to care and ensure that you're covering all your bases, and one of them is that one. I'd love for you to get a copy of the policy, a copy of the deck page. To make sure. And some of you are missing out on that page. You have PIP in your med pay. State Farm is selling med pay, and there's a lot of policies with med pay. Allstate does too. You have to say it's PIP because it's not under the law, the PIP statute, but it is for medical payments. But I'm telling you, if you follow the PIP statute, you're going to get paid in med pay. Because it's not by law, but they use the same system. And some of you don't know that it's not. So, you know, let's get the debt sheet. Well, when you get a claim, you have a copy of the policy. Oh, pay me $10. Pay $10 for that. Now you know what you do know now? If the language you do, fee schedule is. You ask for that policy, the fee schedule language is not there. They got paid 80% of the reason. The usual customer. Not the fee schedule. So maybe it behooves us to ask for policies. Okay? They don't want to give it, they don't want to give it. They may not even know which policy chapter is the way it goes. It's on the deck page. Find out each one. But they don't want to give it because the policy sometimes goes against them. And they want you blind to this. And that's wrong. And you should ask, do you have the right? You have the right. I'm sure that they went to the hospital. And you have to come back to the hospital. You're not a hospital. You're not a records. So these deck actions, well, those are the federal lawsuits. You can speak that. What is that? Do we have silence today? Huh? Oh, you left that.
No, I didn't.
You left.
No, sorry.
All right. Some of my clients have a little bit of a problem of SIU investigators showing up at your doorstep saying, I want to come in and visit and inspect. And they show you this badge that really has nothing, means nothing. Okay? Most of you guys are either retired cops or cop wannabes. You know, you got to become a cop. And they go hard and crash and you know what? Your answer is this. Leave the premises without the court police. You have no right to come here. You have only one right. Is to ask me to look in the regional file and I'm going to show it to you. You take it, see it, you can look at that. It's sitting out there in the reception area. That's it. They have no other right. By the way, that was one of the things in the PIP statute that they wanted. An unlimited right of investigators to walk into your offices and review your files. They don't have the right. Now, here you go. This is sort of like the DUI. Guys, don't drink and drive, please. But if you get stopped for a DUI, do not blow. And do not take the field sobriety.